So today I wanted to talk about something really fun, and that is wishes and magic. And I'm talking about this because for my friend's 40th birthday, I got her 40 candles that I kind of blessed and then gave to her with some instructions. And the instructions were pretty simple. It was just saying that whenever she felt like she needed a wish or she just needed some extra little push or motivation, she should take a candle and then state her desire or her wish, light the candle, watch it burn, and then when the candle had gotten to the end of its, after it's finished burning, just trust that it would, her wish would be on its way to her. And so she actually came over to my house last week and she brought two candles, two of these special wish candles. And she said she wanted to share one with me. Um, So we decided to do it together. We decided that we would do this kind of ceremony, a wish ceremony together, where we would both sit, we would tell each other our wishes, and then we would light them together and watch them burn, and then like know that together we had these wishes that were on their way to ourselves. And so we sat down and she started telling me her wish first. And she started telling me what she wanted. And all of a sudden I had this like initial reaction that I was like, wait, you can't just wish for that. Like your wish is just kind of like some random wish. Like there's nothing you can do to make this wish happen. You need to wish for something that you can do something about so that you could make this wish come true. And then all of a sudden I caught myself and I was like, no, that is not a wish. That's not how a wish works. A wish is actually almost magical. You don't need to do anything for it. It's not an action-based thing. And you can wish for anything. And I just realized, though, that it was like this adult in me, that it was like, no, that's not, you can't wish for that. That's not how wishes work. Wishes don't work. Wishes are just magical. But it really got me thinking. And it made me kind of reflect back on the fact that, like, now that I'm an adult, I don't really feel like I kind of wish for things anymore. I do manifestations, I have desires, and I have goals, and I have action based things, but I don't wish. I don't really have the magic. And I remember when I was a kid, like how many wishes would I have? Like, whether it be birthday wishes or, or like, for example, if you had an eyelash, or for example, you know, if you found a dandelion and you could blow all the hair off in one go, then you would get your wish. And in our family, for example, we had another wish, which was if you could go through a tunnel in one breath without having to hold your breath, like without having to like catch your breath or have another breath, you would get your wish. And I just remember it was such a magical time because I believed in it. And I just remember that, like, you know, there was something like this belief, this trust that like good things were on their way to me. And that felt really good. Um, and, today I do other things. Like as I said, I have goals, and goals are like where you have like, practical steps, and you have like these things that you want, and you kind of like, they're very practical, very logical. And then now we also have manifesting, which I think is like maybe the adult version of wishing. And so manifesting is all about like embodying your desires and your intention, but then taking like, aligned action. But see, that's the word. There's action in it. You still have to do something. Whereas like what I realized about a wish, which makes it so magical, is this idea that like you surrender, you surrender to the magic. You surrender to like the fact that you could get this wish and that you don't have to earn it. You don't have to do anything for it. And it reminded me of this card I picked this week for my minute message. I picked these cards, and the card I picked was the Empress. And in this particular deck, she is this princess. And in the card, she's just, very peaceful. And there's also kind of a little bit of a passive quality to her. But it's more like she's just, there's this trusting. She just knows good things are going to happen to her. just the way they do in fairy tales, because she just knows. She just has this kind of like demeanor about her that she just like knows that she's good enough to want those things and to get those things. And it made me realize that in a way, we are all princesses and princes of the world, in the sense that like there's this new philosophy that I've been kind of reading and I hear about it, and I've been seeing more and more things about it. And I really love it. And it's just this thing that like we are worthy, and our worth as a human being doesn't come from anything that we do. It doesn't come from our jobs. It doesn't come from our, the way we dress. It doesn't come from how much money we have. It just comes from being us, from being human, from just our worthiness is just from being. You don't have to earn it. You just are worthy. You are enough. You deserve love. And there's something so powerful about that. And I really felt like it came back to this empress who just knows that she deserves good things, just the same way we all do. We all deserve good things, not for any other reason than from being ourselves. But it also came back to this wish idea that like, in a way, you can get a wish and you don't need to deserve a wish. You can just have a wish, and you can just like basically be okay with having things, really wonderful things happen to you. And it made me want to get back in touch with that more childish side of me, that side of me that was like believing in those things. And today, actually, for this video, I wore these wonderful earrings that I have. They're my David Bowie earrings. And I love these earrings because when I wear them, I feel like they bring me power and kind of magic, And I realized that when I was a kid, I had more of those things. I had more lucky clothes or objects that would just bring me luck. And for sure, the adult version of us could just say, yes, but that's because it messes with your head. And when you believe in yourself, then you are more lucky. And when sure, that's fine. I get it. We can rationalize everything. But it's also fun to have the magic. Because again, magic only happens when we believe in magic. And I want to believe in magic. I want to reconnect with that childish and kind of pure magic and pure belief, and not have to like rationalize everything. But yeah, to get back to my wish ceremony with my friend, there was a couple more things I wanted to talk about with that. First of all, it was funny. So when it was my turn to state my wish, I had this other knee-jerk reaction, which was like, oh, I can't tell my wish. It'll never come true. And then I was like, why? Why do we believe that? Because it's actually super powerful to share a wish with somebody. I realized that it was like, all of a sudden I was getting support for my wish. I realized that somebody else was witnessing what I wanted, and that she was actually going to be kind of like a bearer of my wish too, almost like somebody who would help my wish come true, because it wasn't just me anymore. We were a community. And for sure, I know we have to be careful and we can't share our wishes with everybody. You really have to share a wish with somebody that you trust, somebody that you know really wants your highest good for you. And but still, I just thought that was really powerful, and also so interesting that we have these kind of like maybe beliefs about what we can or shouldn't do with our wishes. But I just wanted to share that, and also just share about wanting more magic in my life, wanting to reconnect with that kind of like knowing that like I am allowed to have good things happen to me for no other reason than being myself. I don't have to earn it. I don't have to work for it. And a wish is just that. It's surrendering. As I leave you on this walk with me, I want to suggest you do something. I want to suggest that you get 2 birthday candles and you share them with a friend, and you do a wish ceremony, and you sit together. It's very easy. You sit together and you talk about whatever's going on for you. You state your wish out loud. I know it might feel weird at the beginning because we've been taught so long not to do that. You state your wish out loud with your friend. You light that candle, you watch it burn, and you trust. And you trust that that wish will come to you for no other reason than just you made that wish and that you deserve to have your wish come true. And again, as I said, Don't share your wishes with everybody. So if you don't feel like you have somebody with whom you can do the ceremony, share your wish with me. Share it in in a private message. I will be the person that holds that wish with you, and to be your community that also like wishes and helps that wish become something more than just your personal inside goal. So on that, I'm wishing you lots of love and lots of laughter, but also if you find an eyelash or a dandelion, or if you go under a tunnel and you can hold your breath the whole way through, make a wish. Get back in touch with your child inside, your inner child who's dying to believe again in magic. Because I'll remind you once again, magic can only happen if you believe in it. And I want to believe in it again. So on that, wishing you lots of love and lots of laughter, and I'll see you next video. Thanks so much for watching.